Pete, congrats on the win. Huge game for you. But I think what stands out to me is the timely rebounds and the timely block you had on Garland at the end of the game. Can you talk about the difference you made, not just offensively, but taking the challenge to be there for your team in all different aspects?
Um, yeah, I thought it was a winnable game. I knew we weren't ourselves, and so at that point, I was locked in and committed to do whatever it took to win.
Got you. And I asked Coach Ty about this being a character win for you guys, going ahead and beat Denver a couple of nights ago without Kawhi and then coming back and winning this game. What does this say about the character of your team?
Um, like I said, post game, it's these situations aren't ideal, but it's nice when posed with these challenges that we come together and we find a way to, kind of just rally together. I thought this was a game where we really just dug down and that second half was just special. Everybody was locked in defensively. I thought we got the stops that we needed to convert, and we took care of the ball. And a lot of luck had to happen, but I thought we were in position to allow the luck to help.
PG, I think there were a couple of plays where they sent a couple at you, and you found Terrence for a three, and I think Amir on the next one. That level of trust, is that just at an all-time high right now where if you're seeing two, you just got to find the right open guy?
Yeah. I thought I had some shots that I didn't trust. I thought I rushed some and took some shots that I could have let the play develop a little bit or rushed some shots. And so I was kind of mindful of those. And so at that point, I was just trying to read the game and get the best, shot possible in those possessions.
Shooting-wise, I don't think you had the best of starts, but I think in that fourth quarter you really found it. I guess at what point in that fourth did you know, this is going to kind of be your quarter?
You don't know. But, T. Lou trusted me to, I told him, don't take me out. I wanted to stay in, and, I just felt we were making a good push. And, he trusted me to just continue it on, and you don't know. But like I've been saying, I'm just play till the clock hits zero, and I just thought we were in striking range, and my aggression just got higher, and so it was just a will to win at that point.
Hey, Paul. During the summer, we see you working a lot on your counters, and it translates into moments like this. Ending with the sidestep. Can you talk a little bit more about the unseen hours that you do?
Yeah. I spent a ton of hours in the gym, and the snippets that have made it on Instagram or on YouTube. I'm doing those repetition, or that's been my repetition of moves over and over again, and just being comfortable in those spaces. And honestly, I feel I can get any shot or any look that I want to, and so at that point it was just trying to read where I can find space, and going away from 2 7-footers seemed ideal in that moment.
Hey, Paul, so you've been the Clipper for 5 years, so you know how these afternoon games are. What we always ask you about, y'all been down double digits in all of them at some point. You messed around and won 6 of those games that you've had to come back and win. What is the common thread of that time where you make that comeback push? What is it that, happens where you guys are all right, we're ready to start playing now?
It's just a desperation. I think the team understands the desperation, and it's either you can lay down or you could try to do something different. And for us, like I said, we knew that first half wasn't us. Defensively, 80 points in the first half. There's just no defense being played at all on our behalf. So I thought defensively we stepped it up and played a little bit more physical. And, we just kept chipping away. And, at that point we just gave ourselves a chance, honestly. And that's been the case on all of those occasions that we came back. We recognize it wasn't us, and we just addressed it.
Just a follow up, because you got another one of these next week, and then you know how the playoffs are. Like y'all gonna have at least one of those in the playoffs. Like, what can y'all do when the time comes to where y'all can be ready to start those games and just play a normal game in the afternoon?
Yeah, I mean, not sure. We're not there yet. Hopefully, we locked up, and I don't need to be in that one. So, yeah. But my focus is this next one with Phoenix, and so we'll get there when we get there.
Paul, what's happening? You spoke on having a coach that trusts you. Can you give your thoughts on just what does that do for you to have a coach that trusts you to make the right decision? And also, for years, you've been a huge advocate of women's basketball. Can you elaborate on how women's basketball has emerged this year?
Yeah. The first question, it means, everything, obviously. T. Lou trusting me with the ball in my hands, trusting me down the stretch, trusting me with the minutes. It means everything for me to go out and do what I do, and, for him to know, that the ball is in good hands for me to play make and kind of take over. And, it just allows me to be comfortable and be aggressive. And, not only him, my teammates, trusting me. And so, that just, it just takes the pressure off of me feeling like, I'm asserting myself, but it's not wanted. So, that helps in that scenario. But for the women's game, I think it's awesome. I think that it's great. It's at an all-time high. They're getting a recognition that is much deserved. There's just so much star power in the women's college game. And I think, especially with Juju Watkins coming up, it just seems the torch is constantly just getting handed off from Caitlin to Paige to Juju. Angel Reese, of course, I think was probably the most iconic to start it off. And then now it's just a wave of women getting notarized, in which they should. But the game is special where it is right now. Again, there's just so much talent. I think for the first time, people are going to be tuned into, I won't say the first time. I won't, disrespect the game or the sport. But I don't necessarily know. But I for sure people will be tuned into the women's draft and who's going where. And I think it'll just be so much more hype involved around that because of, what the women have done in their collegiate runs. So I'm excited for where it is. I've been a huge advocate because my sister played, obviously, and watched her for years. So I'm very, close to the women's game. So, continue with support. And, actually, shout out Juju Watkins. She'll be on the pod, airing pretty soon. So y'all will see that. Unbelievable interview that we had with her. So, tune in to podcast, P.
PG, Ty talked a lot about the job that the bench did to kind of keep this game close and put you guys in position to make the comeback. Can you just talk about how big they were for you guys tonight?
With the bench, yeah, they were great. I thought, Russ brought a ton of energy, which he always does. And I thought Mace was good. Amir, big three. Norm was aggressive, made some timely shots. I thought it was just a collective team win. I can't take credit for, none of it without them. I thought they made the big shots. I told T-Man, if he doesn't make that three, none of that would have happened to finish the game. And told Amir, without that shot, we're walking away with an L. So, those guys hit the biggest shots of the night or of the evening. Or afternoon, shit, I don't even know. Checking your clock and shit. But, they made the biggest shots of the afternoon, and it couldn't have happened without those guys, chipping in and doing what they do.